Hello and welcome back. In this lesson, we are going to build the same grocery store app that we did build in the previous lesson, except that here we are going to use the modular approach and we'll use the blueprint functionality in Flask. So most of the code is going to be the same, except that we are going to put stuff in different locations. And so for that, we will first get started with creating folders. The first folder we are going to create is the instance folder, and in this instance folder what we have is the secret key.txt. Then we are going to create the store folder. Now inside of the store folder there is a static folder that will hold our images, etc. So let's create images inside of the static. Notice that I've selected static, so you see that underline under static. That tells me that this folder I'm creating will go inside of static, as you see here. Now we need another folder inside store, so I'm going to click on store, and you see underline is now on store. And now we create the folder templates. So we have these two subfolders. Outside of store we outside of store we have another templates folder, and outside of everything we have our files for app.py, and then the second file we have is the products.py, and inside of the store, which is this one, we are going to create a file called routes.py. So we are notice that we are going to separate out the routes, and we can also create uh, an optional file here, which is the init.py. This file will be blank, so we are not going to put anything in this file. So this is just going to be store. That's where this file is, init.py, and we'll just store this is a empty file to mark store as a Python package. So we'll just leave this blank. Now inside of the images, now inside of that images folder, what I'm going to do is paste. So we have images right here. We are going to paste the image files, which are these files, and these are the same files that we had from the previous lesson. And then for the templates folder, which is the base.html, again I'm going to copy the exact same files from the previous lesson to the templates folder, which is the templates outside here. And we are going to do a minor edit here, and where we'll say store.index, just because we have those files located there, and store.view underscore card. The rest of it stays the same. Next, what we are going to do is take the templates folder inside of this store. So that's the store. So base.html we need in this outermost folder for templates, and inside the templates, which is inside of the store, we are going to put the cart.html and the index.html, two files. So in here we put the cart.html and index.html. Again, if we go into the cart.html, we need to uh, make sure that this is store.index. Then we have store.view view cart. Sorry, this is the base. Let me open this one. Yep. So this has to be store.update cart. That's the change we need to do. And in index.html, again we need to make sure that we type store.static and type store.add to cart right here, and rest of it would stay the same. So we have product image and product name and so on. So this is good. After this, we are going to now go back into the products.py, and this file is going to be the same as what we had used previously. So I'm going to simply come in here and paste the products.py and delete this and move this to trash and just rename this as products.py. So this file again stays the same. So most of the code is now written. So we have the static files with the images and the templates ready right here. We already have the base file ready and we have the products.py ready. So things that remain are the routes.py and app.py. So first we are going to get writing the routes.py. So for the routes.py, which is this one, we are going to say from Flask import blueprint render underscore template session redirect url underscore for and request. So and we'll import the products. So from products import products. So the most of the code that we earlier wrote in app.py is now moved to this for file routes.py. This is where we create an instance which is different. So store underscore bp store blueprint is equal to blueprint, and in parentheses we call this store, and then we give it this name underscore underscore. Remember we used Flask and then in parentheses name underscore 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 name underscore. This is the same thing except that this time we are using a blueprint and therefore we are passing in some additional input arguments that we see here. So templates, that's the location for the templates folder, static folder. So what we are trying to say is that here are the locations where all the files you'll need to run this app are kept. So static url underscore path is equal to / store that static. And so these are all important things that we need to put in the input arguments. Then we start writing our route. So add store. Now remember we are not typing add route because we have used add store underscore bp. That is what we'll use here, dot route, and this is where we have the root, and the function we'll write here is the index function. So cart is equal to session dot get and get cart. So we are asking the session to get the cart. If it's not there, just return an empty dictionary. And then this function in turn returns the render template. So render template, what are we rendering? We are rendering the store the index.html that is kept in the store folder. And when we do that, we do pass in the required inputs, which is the products and the cart. Both of these would be used to render the index.html. Then we write store underscore bp dot route, and this time we are going to look at add to cart. So add, and here we specify what input this is going to get. So product underscore id and close angle brackets, and the function we would write is the add to cart. So logic that we have in these functions is pretty much the same as what we had previously with some minor differences. Cart is equal to session session dot get cart, and so same thing we are saying get cart, and if it's there get the cart. If it's not there, just return an empty dictionary. And as soon as you have that, we are going to say that well whatever product ID we have, convert it to string, and that becomes the key to access values in the cart. And so we again use cart.get on the right hand side of the equal to, that is to put values for that key there. So we say string str product underscore id and comma 0 plus 1. So we are saying uh, uh, get the value for the product ID, and if the value is nothing, then return 0, else whatever value is here, and then add the plus 1 to it. Then we simply say session, put this in the cart, that is in the session, and then put that all of that into so we redirect. So we put that into the session, that goes into the cookie, and then the user doesn't see this. User simply sees the redirect. So redirect URL for, and this is store dot index. So that's the second function we have, and the next one is the view cart. So here we say at store underscore bp dot route, and we say cart. The function we'll write below this is view underscore cart. So cart is equal to session dot get, and we are going to get the cart, cart. If it's there, if it's not there, just return empty dictionary. Cart underscore items, we initialize it with empty dictionary. Total is initialized to 0. Now if product in products PID is equal to, so if the product ID, so we extract the product ID str product ID, put that in PID, and then we check if that PID is in the cart. If it's there, then quantity is equal to cart PID, and then we get the total item underscore total is equal to product price into quantity. That gets us the total for the item. Then we say cart underscore items for that particular PID is equal to, we create the dictionary. So name is product square bracket name, then we have price, which is product square bracket price, and last thing we have quantity. Now here we have product square bracket, well, so this quantity can be just quantity. All right, and then we are going to get the total it plus equals item underscore total, then we return, so return render underscore template, and here we specify the name of the HTML file, store cart.html, cart is equal to cart underscore items, total is equal to total. That's the second one, second, and the next function, and the last function we are going to create here is for update cart. So at store underscore bp dot route, and here we say update underscore cart, and the methods we are going to use here is methods is equal to, within square brackets, post, that's the method we are going to use, def update underscore cart, and here we have an empty cart. Next, we use a for loop to iterate over items that we get from the form. So for PID quantity in request dot form dot items, we are going to check if quantity dot is digit and int quantity is greater than 0. If that is the case, cart product ID is equal to int quantity, and outside of the for loop is a session cart is equal to cart. Then we return redirect and redirect URL underscore for. Here we say store dot view underscore cart. So that is all we have for the routes.py. Now to go get into our main file, which is app.py, we are going to say from Flask import Flask with the uppercase F. Then from store.routes, this is the file we just created, import store underscore bp. So we are uh, looking at this store underscore bp that we created, and so once we import that, it'll have the connection to all the routes that we have created. This is where we create the main app. So app is equal to flask underscore underscore name underscore underscore app dot secret underscore key is equal to 123 and then we have the app. So this is again very important step, app dot register underscore blueprint store underscore bp. So this is the main line that connects the blueprint to this main Flask app, and blueprint cannot run on its own. As far as I've read, it does need the main Flask connection to it. That's what we did there. Now finally we type if underscore underscore name underscore underscore is equal to underscore underscore main underscore underscore colon app dot uh, app dot run debug is equal to true. So that's all we have in this particular uh, app.py file. Let's see if let's run this ls. All right, we have the files. We'll try and run the app.py, see what we get. If we run into errors, then we'll try to fix those. Okay, so the very first error is equal to, so we need 2 equal to there, so that was easy. I'll go back up, run this again, and we have the app. Looks like it wants to run, so let's type that here, press run, and there is an error. The error is Jinja exceptions store store index.html not found, and I see that we have templates stored. There's templates. Okay, so there's a bit of redundancy. So what we need here is create another store.py folder here. So already have templates, and inside of templates, I think we need another store. So I'm going to type store in here. So create a new folder, store. So what we need to do is these files have them outside of store. We need to put them inside of the store. So I'm going to move them in there. So now we have the store, and inside of store we have these two files. So that should fix it. Let's go back up here and run this. All right, so that looks okay. images are not showing up. So let's go back up here in static images. We do have the images there, so why are they not showing up? If we go to index.html and look at, you see this is images. I think what we need to put there is, so we do have store.static. So we have the store, then we have static, and then we have the images folder, and then we have the product name, product.image. So that looks okay. Let's look at the error. There's no error here, but there is something we can see down here. A template store index template not found, Ginger template not found, store index.html. Okay, so we have, I think that was the earlier one. Let me go cancel this, clear this all, then rerun python app.py and rerun this. All right, so looks like it is not able to find the images. All right, figured out what the problem was. In the previous lesson, we used PNG as the JPG as the extension, but this time, for whatever reason, I have it as JPG. As PNG, so we need to change this everything to PNG. And now, if I go back here and run, so this is now working. If we create on add to cart, or didn't crash, so looks like it might be working. If we click on cart, or now it crashed. And the name product is not defined. Did you mean products? And that error is coming in if product in products, and that is in this view cart. So let's go to the routes folder and view cart, and if product in products, that's where the problem is. All right, again figured out this mistake on my side. I don't know what I was thinking. This was a for loop, so it has to be for product in products. Um, so I've saved this and try and go back to our base URL, click on some of these items, go to cart, and this is now saying item total. This is again okay, so item to this should be equal to, again my mistake. So refreshed, cool. So we do have this. If I wanted to update cart, I create that, and that will do that. Home. So all right, so looks like this is working. If we let me restart the session. So I'm going to do Control C, clear this, then maybe refresh this. So you see there's an error. Now say Python app.py, this is running. You open this, and the app is not running. So let's copy this, run this. Okay, try again. So I think I need to close the browser and run this again. So let me try and do that. Here we are back, and I'm going to now copy the URL, paste here, and it is working. So just closing the browser did seem to work. Uh, so we have 1 2 3 4 5 items, and those are here. So you can add any item to the card. We can go to the card, you can see the card is there, shows those items. You can update the card, increase the number of items, we can reduce the values for number of items, and then that's the updated card we have. The total seems to be okay, and if we go back to home, add any value, again it shows up in the card. So that is how we can again build a grocery store website from scratch in Python using Flask, HTML, and CSS with Ginger templates using the blueprint approach. Earlier lesson, the previous lesson was where we put all the routes inside of the app.py. This time we created separate routes file and separate app.py file to uh, to use the modular approach to write the code. I hope this helps you think what is the best approach you want to go with to write your app. Thank you, and I hope to see you all in the next video, next lesson. Please like, share, and subscribe. I appreciate your support. Thank you so much.